My friends have left and gone. Loving Father, take my life into your hands. Behold, behold, the wood of the cross, on which is hung our salvation. Oh, come, let us adore.
We've gathered on this Good Friday afternoon once again to walk the stations of the cross with Jesus. As we make these stations, we will follow the story of Christ's suffering, death, and resurrection through the eyes of someone, an imaginary someone, who personally witnessed these events. This person is not a follower of Jesus. Rather, he is a bystander who happens to become involved in the events of Good Friday. And so we begin the Stations of the Cross, a story of redemption. The first station, Jesus is condemned to death. We adore you, O Christ, we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the Gospel of John. When Pilate heard these words, he brought Jesus outside and sat on the judgment bench at a place called the Stone Pavement, or in Hebrew, Gabbatha. Now it was the day of preparation for the Passover, and it was about noon. He said to the Jews, "Here is your king." They cried out, "Away with him! Away with him! Crucify him!" Pilate asked them, "Shall I crucify your king?" The chief priests answered, "We have no king, but the emperor." Then he handed him over to them to be crucified.
Were you there when they
Jesus, I'm there when Pilate put you on display. I'd heard that you were a troublemaker. You didn't keep the Sabbath. You gave your attention to outcasts, tax collectors, common fishermen, harlots. I'd also heard you could heal the sick, walk on water. I heard many things about you. I didn't know what to expect, and now I see you. I thought I would find you amusing or absurd, strange. But instead, I see something quite unexpected. There's something about you, something hard to put into words. I sense in you an inner strength, even though you are disgraced and humiliated. Somehow, I know that you do not have to undergo this treatment. You've chosen to accept it. In some mysterious way, it's you who control the situation. People around me are shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" I want to shout out, "Leave the man alone. Can't you see he has suffered enough?" Wouldn't do it good. The crowd wants to put you in your place. They are outraged that you, a carpenter's son, should be so sure of yourself. They want to show you that you're no better than anyone else, that your claim to some kind of divine power, it's all a pretense. Pilate gives in to the crowd. You don't seem surprised. It's as if you had known all along that what the verdict would be. Pilate says that you're a just man. I see that. I see it in the way you stand. I see it in your face. There's no malice there, no weakness, no confusion. You know what you're about. I see your pain, but I also see your resolve. Somehow I know that you will endure and that you will win. The horror of the hour will not diminish you. Oh God, how I wish I could do something to help this just man. Oh God, will you do nothing to save him?
When we are disheartened by the suffering around us and can see no way to help, Lord, have mercy. When we stand aside and fail to respect others, victimized by the cruelty of justice, Christ, have mercy. When we refuse to act or to speak up because our cause is unpopular, Lord, have mercy. The second station, Jesus accepts the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the book of Isaiah. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. Like a lamb that is led to the slaughter, and like a sheep that before its shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. By a perversion of justice, he was taken away. Who could have imagined his future?
Jesus, you are given your cross to carry. The crowd is pleased at your humiliation. I feel only shame. I find it hard to understand why there is so much hostility toward you. What could you have done to arouse such hatred? It is apparent that you are a gentle person, not passive, not submissive, but strong in your gentleness. I don't understand. Why must you do this? For whom do you do this? Good people, people of God, should not be brought to such shame, to such suffering. And yet you say that you are God's son. I could believe that. I could believe in you. But how can I understand the cross It makes no sense. Oh, if only you could teach me, Rabbi. Why the cross?
We pray, often, Lord, the cross seems to make no sense, and yet you have said, anyone who does not take up the cross and follow in my footsteps is not worthy of me. Help me, Lord, to bear the burden of my own pain. Help me, Lord, to relieve the burden of others' pain. Help me to do this, Lord, even when I do not understand. The third station, Jesus falls the first time. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. Psalm 37. Our steps are made firm by the Lord when he delights in our way. Though we stumble, we shall not fall headlong, for the Lord holds us by the hand.
Jesus, I see you struggle as you carry your cross. You stumble on the rough, uneven surface of the road. The crowd, the ever-present crowd, presses in on you, cursing and laughing. The weight of the wood pulls you down. The malice of the people weighs on you until both you and your burden fall to the ground. And then you slowly get up, lift up the cross, and continue your journey. Why are you so determined? What motivates you? Where do you get your strength? I wish I understood.
We pray, Lord, forgive us for the times we have refused to take risks for fear of falling on our faces and looking foolish before others. Forgive us for the times we have fallen, or lacked the courage to begin anew. Forgive us for the times we have failed to encourage others who struggle with the weight of their own problems and uncertainties. The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the Gospel of Luke. Then Simeon blessed them and said to his mother Mary, "This child is destined for the falling and the rising of many in Israel, and to be a sign that will be opposed, so that the inner thoughts of many will be revealed, and a sword will pierce your own soul too."
Jesus, there are women in the crowd who follow you. They are weeping. They turn their eyes away from you. They cannot bear to see your distress. But one woman, she seems older than the others, follows you with her eyes, follows with her heart, follows with her steps. Someone in the crowd whispers that she is your mother, Mary. Yes, she must be your mother. I see the resemblance. No mother should have to go through this. Why doesn't someone take her away? I would not want my mother to suffer as she is suffering. Where does she get her strength? I can see she is determined to be there for you to the very end. The very end. It is imminent, isn't it? Mary knows this. She has said yes to this, the end of your life. She has said yes, just as you have said yes. If only I knew why. If only I knew why, I could believe.
We pray, Mary, our mother, we admire your courage. You were there for Jesus when many who loved him shared those wonderful days of his ministry, ran away in fear and despair. You faced the challenge in Jesus' eyes. Often we are called to face things in life, unpleasant things, painful things, fearful things, things that must be faced if we are to grow. Mary, may we share in your courage, that we may look at these things squarely and not run away.
Stood the mournful mother weeping, close to Jesus to the last. Through her heart with sorrow sharing, all his bitter anguish bearing. Now at length the sword has passed. Oh, how sad and sore distressed was that mother highly blessed, of the sole begotten one.
The fifth station, Simon of Cyrene helps Jesus carry his cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the Gospel of Luke. As they led him away, they seized a man, Simon of Cyrene, who was coming from the country, and they laid the cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus.
Jesus, at last, someone is ordered to help you. He does so reluctantly, no doubt fearing the ridicule of the crowd. It is ironic, isn't it? You, the prophet, whose disciples are said to number in the thousands, must walk your last journey alone with only a stranger to assist you. And then only because he's ordered to. How sad, how very sad. Even a false prophet should not have to walk alone. A false prophet? Well, I think not. Even now, in this moment of absurdity, everything about you seems true.
We pray, Lord, whatever good we do on this earth, may we do it freely. Let us love and serve others, not because we are forced to do so by the presence of public opinion, not out of any self-centered need, but because we freely choose to be a servant of our brothers and sisters. The sixth station, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the book of Isaiah. He had no form of majesty that we should look at him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by others, a man of sufferings and accustomed to infirmity, and as one from whom others hid their faces, he was despised, and we held him of no esteem.
Jesus, a woman comes forward from the crowd. She ignores the insults from the rabble around her, and taking a fresh linen cloth, wipes the blood and sweat from your face. For the first time today, I feel a small stirring of hope. Someone has found a way, a simple way to ease your discomfort. It's surprising how one act of kindness can give hope even when there seems to be no escape.
We pray. It is better to light one candle than to curse the darkness. Help us, Lord, to carry out those small acts of kindness that make a life richer and fuller and brighter for us all. Help us to believe that we can make a difference with every prayer we say and with every work of mercy we perform. The seventh station, Jesus falls the second time. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by the holy cross you have redeemed the world. Psalm 22. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It is melted within my chest. My mouth is dried up like a pottage, and my tongue sticks to my jaws. You lay me in the dust of death.
Jesus, you fall again, and once more you manage to get up. I see your limbs trembling with weakness. The scourging has sapped you of all your strength. Will you be able to continue? Golgotha seems impossibly distant.
We pray. When we fail, Lord, help us to forgive ourselves. When we fail, Lord, grant us the strength to rise and continue to do whatever needs to be done. And when we grow weary, Lord, remind us that every step on our journey has meaning.
Save us, save us, Savior of the world, for by your cross and resurrection, you have set us free. Save us, save us, Savior of the world, for by your cross and resurrection, you have set us free.
The eighth station, Jesus speaks to the women of Jerusalem. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the Gospel of Luke. A great number of the people following him, and among them were women who were beating their breasts and wailing for him. But Jesus turned to them and said, Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For the days are surely coming when they will say, Blessed are the brethren, and the wombs that never bore, and the breasts that never nursed.
Jesus, I have never met anyone like you. Suddenly, in the midst of all this madness, you speak. Had I been you, I would have cursed the crowd. I would have cursed the Romans. I would have cursed the unnamed fate that had brought me to this way of the cross. But you speak only words of compassion for the anonymous women who show you pity. Weep not for me, weep not for me, you say. Weep for yourselves and your children. Their future pain is more real to you than your own. What a strange man you are. What a strange, wonderful man.
We pray, Lord, save us from venturing on ourselves and shield out others from our concern. Through our problems are real and our needs are great. Let us not overlook those who daily come into our lives, hungry for a little warmth, looking for a little attention. The ninth station, Jesus falls the third time. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. Psalm 62. For God alone my soul waits in silence. From him comes my salvation. He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall never be shaken. How long will you assail a person? Will you better your victim, all of you, as you would a leaning wall or a tottering fence? For God alone my soul waits in silence, for my hope is from him.
Jesus, I can hardly bear to watch you struggle. You fall a third time. And then without hesitation, without any assistance, without any prodding, you rise. You get up again. Why? Why? What is that destiny that you seem to know so well? What's the destination that calls you forward? What ideal, what vision keeps you going?
We pray, Lord, may we always remember that it is not our achievements that please you most, but rather our determination to keep on trying. The 10th station, Jesus is stripped of his garments. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the Gospel of John. When the soldiers had crucified Jesus, they took his clothes and divided them into 4 parts, one for each soldier. They also took his tunic. Now the tunic was seamless, woven in one piece from the top. So they said to one another, "Let us not tear it, but cast lots for it to see who will get it."
Jesus, you finally reach Golgotha. Your journey is over. The smell of death seems to permeate the air. I have never been to this place of human degradation before. How I detest it. As if following an accustomed routine, the soldiers remove your garments, the final humiliation. And what have you left? Everything seems to have been taken from you. Your good name, your physical well-being, your following of disciples, and now, even your decency.
We pray, Jesus, as we recall your suffering and death, we pray for all the persecutors in the world who lose their humanity in their passion to subject and control others. And we pray for all who have been victims of people's inhumanity to their fellow human beings. The 11th station, Jesus is nailed to the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the Gospel of Luke. 2 others also, who were criminals, were led away to be put to death with him. When they came to the place that is called the Skull, they crucified Jesus there with the criminals, one on his right and one on his left.
Jesus, the soldiers position the nails. The crowd is hushed. Many have dropped back. The horror of the day has finally begun to touch them. Some have walked away not being able to watch what is to come. The soldiers nail you to the cross. I watch as in a trance, as if it isn't happening. I want to believe that it isn't happening, but it is. The sound of the hammer striking metal tells me so. I want to leave this place. I want to leave these people, but I must. I feel I must stay with you. I need to understand, who are you? Who are you, and why do I remain here near your cross? Why am I drawn to you? Why do I care about you? And why must you die?
We pray. Lord, often we have asked ourselves, who am I? Why am I here? What am I called to do? We look to your life and death for answers, and the answers are quite simple. We are loved, and we are called to love. The 12th station, Jesus dies on the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the Gospel of Luke. It was now about noon, and darkness came over the whole land until 3 p.m, while the sun's light faded, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Then Jesus cried out in a loud voice, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Having said this, he breathed his last. When the centurion saw that what had taken place, he praised God and said, Certainly this man was innocent.
Jesus, I see you on your cross. The minutes drag by so slowly. Each one seems an eternity. I wait here. I wait for the end, not having the energy to leave, not having the energy to turn away, not even having the energy to pray that you die quickly so that your suffering will end. Others wait with me. Mary waits. A young man called John waits with her. The waiting is agony. You call out, Father, why have you forsaken me? Will your God not take pity on you? I think of the times I have seen death. I have wanted to take away its power. Now I want death's power to win. I want Jesus to be set free from the torment of these hours. You cry, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. I hear the strength go out of you with these words. The struggle is almost over. The sun has darkened. Some are afraid. They speak to each other nervously. I welcome the darkness. It seems to envelop my whole being, so much so that I feel only darkness. I see only darkness. It is finished. Your voice weakly jars the stillness, and then death finally comes to comfort you.
We pray. Jesus, you have waited to be born. Jesus, you waited to die. Jesus, you waited to rise in triumph. Grant us the patience to wait. Help us to endure our own weaknesses, to endure the darkness that sometimes envelops us, to endure the little crosses and the little deaths that daily confront us. Jesus, brother like you, may we always place ourselves in the Father's hands. The 13th station, Jesus is taken down from the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the book of Isaiah. By a perversion of justice, he was taken away. Who could have imagined his future? For he was cut off from the land of the living, stricken for the transgressions of many people. They made his grave with the wicked and his tomb with the rich, although he had done no violence and there was no deceit in his mouth.
After all the waiting, the end comes quickly. There's a finality about it all. Jesus' lifeless body is taken down from the cross. There was nothing glorious about this death. And seeing his cold, limp body, I feel nothing. I feel nothing at all. Only a heavy, heavy weight that pulls me down, oppresses my spirit.
We pray, Lord, often endless of difficult to deal with, the ends of the life of a loved one, the ending of a project, a career, a relationship. It serves and gives us, in times such as these, Lord, help us to grow, even as we experience diminishment. The 14th station, Jesus is placed in the tomb. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you, because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world. A reading from the Gospel of Matthew. So Joseph took the body and wrapped it in a clean linen cloth and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had hewn in the rock. He then rolled a great stone to the door of the tomb and went away.
The burial takes place without incident. Jesus is taken to a tomb close to the place of his crucifixion. I watch those who have stayed with him through these last hours, those who shared his hopes and his dreams. Their sorrow weighs heavily on them, but they continue to tell their stories about the one they called Messiah. They say he preached love and forgiveness. Love and forgiveness, how strange. Love and forgiveness don't seem to have much of a chance in a world of envy and power struggles and crucifixions. And yet, I saw love today. I saw it ridiculed. I saw it overcome by the weight of the cross. I saw it suffer, and I saw it die. I saw love today. It was beautiful. How I wish that love had lived. How I wish that love had lived.
We pray, Jesus, there are times in our lives when things fall apart, when dreams are shattered, when hope no longer seems possible. In our poverty, our brokenness, we come to do your healing. In those times of trial, Jesus, remind us of your love. Remind us of your forgiveness.